What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Dead Noise. I'm Chris, and thanks to the power of Zoom, I am here with the Florida-based hard rock alternative metal band Living Dead Girl. Well, first things first, you have a new single out called Dysfunctional, and right off the bat, I love it. It's super catchy, it's still heavy at the same time, and it reminds me a lot of your song Beautiful from your debut album Exorcism, in the sense that if you take like 5 seconds from one part and 5 seconds from another part, you wouldn't be able to tell that's the same song. So, if you could kind of talk to me a little bit about the making of the song and what was going through your guys' minds in the process of that.
So this song, I chose a topic that I know everyone can relate to, and it's everyone's got someone in their family they butt heads with, or someone that you try to force a relationship with that's not working. Like there's always going to be people you're not compatible with, and you still have to deal with them at some point in your life. A person that you just got to put up with, even though you don't want to. We've all been there. We've all got that one person. So I was like, let's make a song like that because I like songs that I know people can relate to in one way or another. And I didn't want to make it too specific. So I kept it, vague enough that, people could think of anyone and it would apply. But so I would just kind of rolled with that topic and was like, let's kind of make fun of the situation. It's like the lyrics, like, then you can call me back. It's like, once you fix your stuff, then you can talk to me. So it's kind of like making fun of it and making light of the situation. Like you're messed up, but hey, I'll give you a chance again one day once you're less messed up. So we just had fun rolling with that topic. The song was a really quick process though. Like I wrote the entire thing of lyrics in like 2 hours maybe, and we just like threw it all together. Just like Beautiful you compared it to Beautiful, I wrote in like 20 minutes. Like I find my best lyrics are the ones that just pop up in my brain and come to me all at once. It feels like I just like found it in my brain. I didn't write it. I just like found it already existing in my brain.
And musically, is the contrast between the heaviness and the catchiness, is that a conscious decision that you guys make in the songwriting process, or does it just naturally happen for you guys?
It is something that kind of comes naturally to me because I am someone who enjoys both the heavy and the screaming and the down-tuned riffs and the good breakdowns. But at the same time, like when it comes to choruses, I'm like, this has to be pop music. Like when it comes to the chorus, I need people to be able to sing along to it and remember the words and want to move to it. I don't want the song to be the same level of heaviness in the verse and the bridge, like in the whole song. It needs to take a break from that, in my personal opinion. Like that's just what I like in our music, is I like when I can go back and forth between the two things. Because as much as I love heavy music and I love pop music, I don't want to pick one or the other. So with Living Dead Girl, it's a really kind of like fun thing that we do, is that we just like mix two different genres together, and that's our sound, is two things at once.
And with the music video, I have to ask, how fun was that to shoot?
It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a party video, right? There's a lot of work that goes into a music video that people don't see. And we brought some fans and we had like a little mini contest for people to come in and be part of the music video. And I think they were excited to see us. And then when they realized, oh my God, this is a full production, this is a whole, but then they got to really see us work and hang out. And there's some downtime where we got to like eat pizza with everybody. And so, yeah, the music video is really fun. The filming happened over only 5 hours, which if you know anything about production is a
very short
time.
That's nothing.
Yeah. And when we were done filming, we had a lot of the extras and fans and stuff just like stay and hang out. And we just like ordered food, and we were just like in this mansion. Like that was like a 10-bedroom, 10-bathroom, huge mansion on a lake that we rented on Airbnb. You're technically not supposed to film music videos on Airbnb, but I did get permission first. I messaged them and was like, do you mind if I film a music video in your house? I promise I'll clean it after. You'll never know I was even here. The girl agreed. So we did get consent before we trashed someone's house. I cleaned it so well after, you would not know we had like 50 people in there.
When I was planning this interview, one thing I wanted to ask was if this single was part of a bigger thing, like another EP, because you guys just released a covers EP not too long ago, or if another full length was in the works. But that question was kind of answered the day the single was released, because you guys are re-releasing your debut album Exorcism with Dysfunctional and a couple acoustic tracks and a remix. So I've got to ask, because I love that album, what's it like to kind of revisit and revamp those songs?
It was really fun because I kind of feel like we didn't give Exorcism the full life it deserved, but by no choice of our own. Like, we released it in the midst of the lockdowns and the pandemic and everything. We released it independently with, you know, I want to say a small budget, but I put everything on my credit card and I'm paying that now. I'm like making up for it now. But it was released very independently, very DIY in the middle of lockdowns when we couldn't tour, we couldn't play shows. So I kind of wanted to come back to Exorcism and kind of give it the boost it needs now that we're out of all of that stuff, because it kind of has like more life to it than I feel like it got to live, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So we just wanted to like go back and just play with it again. I'm like, some of these songs are so good, they need to be an acoustic version. We need to do, like, we did a piano version of Stronger. I'm like, I want to do one song that's just vocal focused, because a lot of fans will say like, oh, I want to hear like more stripped, I want to hear Molly actually like belt without a ton of music behind it. So like that one is literally just vocals and piano, like one take vocal, sounds very live. And we did an acoustic version of Dysfunctional, which is really fun because we kind of rewrote it. It kind of sounds like a different song. Same with the Alive and Beautiful ones, actually. We kind of reworked all of them. They all sound very different. And then we've got a remix of Exorcism that's very different than the original, but I think it's very fun.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we've done signings at record stores where they've played acoustic of some of the songs, like Alive and Beautiful are good examples of that people like, and they talk to us about it. So it's like, why does this not live as something accessible for people to hear too? Because as much as I like to listen to heavy music, I also sometimes am just in a mood to hear a good song acoustically, right?
Yeah, I love acoustic renditions of songs. Like Finch did a really good acoustic album. Census Fail does really good acoustic stuff. I mean, the list goes on and on. But when I saw that track list, I was curious if Poltergeist was going to have an acoustic version, because I thought that that would translate pretty well. And then when I saw Alive and Beautiful, I was like, wait a minute, how is this going to work? So I'm really excited to hear those.
Yeah, I feel like Poltergeist is something we could definitely do more with if we wanted to. I was in talks with a DJ about a remix for Poltergeist, but that would be its own separate thing. It wouldn't be on that album by now.
And you kind of reference wanting to make a vocal centric song, and you've been working with a vocal coach over the last year or so. What's that development been like for you in writing new music as well as playing live and revisiting old songs?
It's been really great because since I've worked with him, I can do a lot more things I used to not be able to do. Like, I've noticed my range has expanded so much. I can sing much lower. And when I sing those high notes, it's not even as much of a big of a deal now. Like, I actually recorded Dysfunctional in August of 2021. So 2 months after Exorcism came out, I went and wrote and recorded Dysfunctional, and with the plans of it being on an Exorcism Deluxe and everything. But a lot of things have happened and kept pushing the release back. But so that was recorded a while ago. And like the notes in Dysfunctional, like the highest note in Dysfunctional is really up there. Like that's what I call like my tea kettle range. I'm literally like screaming like a tea kettle. It's so high up there. But when I recorded that, like the producer looked at me and was like, wait, he's hitting the note on the piano. He's like, can you even hit that in full voice? Or are you going to have to do it in falsetto? Should I drop it an octave? And I was like, I felt all challenged. I was like, no, I can hit it. Let's do it. And it was at the time at the very top of my range. It was probably the highest note I could hit. So I was a little nervous. I'm like, what if I put this in the song and I can't do it live? And now we have been playing Dysfunctional live and I can hit it live, thank God, because it'd be embarrassing if I couldn't. But now since working with Jamie Vendera, my vocal coach, it's gotten so much easier. Like now when I go to sing Dysfunctional, even just at home practicing or on tour, I'm not like, oh boy, here comes that note. I'm like, oh wait, I just hit it and I wasn't even thinking about it. So it is really great just seeing how much easier things get and how much I don't have to stress myself out like, oh, here comes a high note or here comes a difficult part, especially since before I took vocal lessons, I found my breath control was really, really good when I scream, but not so much when I sing for some reason. So he's really helped me work through that, because slower songs like Poltergeist were really hard for me to do live because I was so much belting and high and fast and all these like crazy all over the place high energy vocals. And then when I would go to slow it down for a second, I was like, I need to catch my breath. Like my voice is shaking right now. And I don't have that problem at all anymore. So he completely helped me fix a lot of like my trouble areas. I'm still not like, I still feel like no matter what, everyone has improvement to do, no matter what instrument you play, no matter what kind of art you make, you're never perfect. Like we can all keep working and practicing and doing better. So I wouldn't say I'm like where I want to be at, but I know what to do now and what kind of practice I need and what exercises to do. So it's really exciting for me to see the improvement and realize how much easier things get for me.
That's great. And I can't wait to hear how that translates to new Living Dead Girl music as well as seeing you guys live. You guys are going out on the road again. You've got some, what was it, Goth Girl Summer dates, touring with Raven Black, and you also have some headliners of your own as well as some in the fall. Are you guys excited to get back out on the road?
Extremely.
Yeah, the last tour got cut short by a couple days just because the van just died on us. We knew it, like we knew coming into that tour that it just, we're like, oh, well, we have to get enough money to do the repair, but it should be fine on this one. In the last 2 shows before, or 3 shows before it ended, it was like 3 a.m. on the side of the highway. We were down and out. But it's fixed, and so now we're like, for at least for us as a band, it felt like we didn't get to finish the tour. So we've all been like, we're in a group chat in Facebook Messenger, and we're all just excited to get back on the road finally, because it felt like unfinished business.
Yeah. And because we had to cancel our Alabama shows, but now we're going back to Alabama. I'm like, I'm making it up to you guys, I promise.
It's always a gamble when you hear a band say that they're going to reschedule as soon as possible. A lot of the times they never do, but it's cool to see that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, we get to hit the spots that we missed, so that's good. And we're super excited to play with Raven too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because that's a pretty big spot for you guys. You guys are direct support, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What was your reaction when you got that call?
I was so excited. I didn't even look at they hadn't given me the cities or the dates or anything yet. They just said, do you want to tour with Raven Black later this year? I think they asked us in like January. Like, this was a while ago. And I just read the email and just responded, yes, I do. I was like, didn't know the cities, didn't know what month. I was just like, yeah, we want it.
Yeah, Raven's great. She's a sweetheart too. Like, her and Molly get on the calls all the time, and they're both so excited. There's some cool stuff they have planned for this tour, just because they're both, I think, such positive female-fronted artists, which is a nice thing to see. But yeah, so the tour is going to be there's going to be some stuff that happens on that tour that you won't see anywhere else.
Well, lastly, before I let you guys go, we're at my favorite part of every interview, and that is a speed round. So I've got 10 questions, and you can elaborate as much as you want. You can just leave it rapid fire. First question, your favorite song to play live?
Dysfunctional.
I like to play Poltergeist live.
Okay, I like Poltergeist too. Dysfunctional and Poltergeist.
I like that answer. Poltergeist is my favorite song of yours, so I'm biased. Yeah. Favorite city to play in?
Favorite recent city was that one in Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach. That was probably our biggest show we've done this year. Like, best turnout.
Like, when you tour to repeat places and you see like the same people come up to you or the same people in the crowd, that's the best feeling. Usually when you play a city or an area you've never played before, it's a gamble. Like, sometimes you're surprised. And we were in New Mexico one time, and it was everybody was there for us.
Yeah.
But that tour right before the van broke down, we were in Virginia Beach, and it was incredible how many people were there for it. Like,
it was our first time there.
Nobody's ever been there. So like that was my favorite, just for that reason of like, people know about us here already. And they were singing the songs, and it was a great feeling.
Yeah, West Virginia would probably be best city we played recently.
That's awesome. The band, artist, or song that made you want to become a musician?
Avril Lavigne. And if I can only pick one song, probably Complicated, because that was the first song of hers I ever heard. And that was what made me go, wait, she's a girl from a small town in Canada that sings rock music. I should do that too.
For me, I don't know. Like, there was a band called Sydney that doesn't exist anymore in my hometown. And when I first got introduced to small venue concerts, there was a venue that would do $5 for a show, or if you brought 2 canned goods, you could get in for free. And so my Wednesday ritual was just going there and listening to music. And the first time I saw this band Sydney play, they were like, stage presence was incredible, small venue, it was full of people. And I was like, I want to be that guy on the drum kit. Like, that's so cool. But yeah.
The one band or artist that you want to collaborate with the most?
I would love to do a song with Chris Motionless.
Oh my gosh.
I think our voices together would sound really good.
Yeah.
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be all. I put Reincarnate in the background just for you.
Hell yeah. And I see you got Antichrist Superstar there too. Great choice.
I had to. Your favorite tour memory?
We have so many.
Favorite or funniest tour memory?
Yeah, favorite or funniest?
Both.
Oh my God, how do I pick one? We have so many. Jordan and I got matching tattoos on our very first tour, so that was very sentimental. So we've got like the Roman numerals of the first show, because that was like our first tour, like the first day of it. So I can't even read Roman numerals, so I forget what date it was. But I think it was like April 20 something, 2022.
Yeah.
I don't even know what my tattoo says.
My favorite moments are the funny ones. Like there was one time we were in Indianapolis and somebody just knocked on the door and handed us an apple pie and then ran away.
We didn't eat it. We threw it in the garbage. But he ran.
Yeah, we're like, what is this? I also like going to Buc-ee's and Love's.
That's your favorite memory?
That's my favorite memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like Buc-ee's. Every time I go to Florida, we go to Buc-ee's. So it's like tradition. Your most embarrassing moment on stage?
One time my microphone fell off the mic stand and fell right in between my boobs. I posted a video of it on Instagram though, because I caught it so quickly and perfectly, and then I just kept singing. Like I grabbed it and kept going. But now every time my microphone's on a stand, I have PTSD. Like if my mic is on a stand, I can't just leave it alone. I have to like hold it now because I'm so scared of it falling.
For me, there was one time, I don't remember the venue, but we played a stage that had a very tiny drum riser and it had no carpet on it. Like even with the carpet that they provided, everything moves away. If you've ever seen drummer memes. And the first two songs we were playing are very China heavy. And the first note on the China, it went off the drum riser into
oh my gosh.
So then I had to, and it was back-to-back songs, so I had to just on the fly just go, I guess we're not using the China for the first few songs. And then it was like trying, because I was also wedged in the back, so I couldn't like sneak behind the kid to get it while Molly was talking. So I was trying to get anybody's attention to bring it back for me. But yeah, that's probably it.
Your dream tour lineup?
Us opening for like Hailstorm, In This Moment, and Motionless in White, I think would be amazing.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Whole band probably agrees with that.
Yeah. I would love to tour with In This Moment, because I feel like, I wouldn't say our music is similar at all, because like they have their thing going, we have our thing going, but I feel like if you're a fan of either one of us, you could be a fan of both of us. If you're into that kind of thing, you're probably going to dig both of us. So I feel like if you had both of us on one bill, it would just make for like a really awesome show.
Oh yeah. A place you haven't performed yet that you really want to?
Europe and UK. We get asked to go there so often. I feel badly even being like, sorry, we can't. Like I feel guilty that like, I'm like, there's so many people there that would come see us. I know, like I can see the analytics of our Facebook, of our merchandise orders, of our Spotify. Like England is like our number 2 country after US. And so many people ask us to come there. And I'm like, how do I politely tell you I can't even afford a plane ticket? I'm like, we're not on a label, we're DIY, we're an indie band. I'm like, if we get an opportunity that makes sense, like if we could open for a bigger band there, I would 100% go. But us as the headliner, not going to happen for a few years. We got to build our way up there. Yeah. But we want to so badly. And we will, but when the time is right.
Same answer for you, Steve?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like Germany, the UK, the entire UK all really want us there, but
and France, Germany and France, we get asked a lot.
But the issue is not only just flying there, but then you have to get a vehicle, you have to have equipment there, you know.
If we were in England, we'd probably have to hire someone to drive us around, because I wouldn't know how to drive on the opposite side of the road. You can do it? Yeah. Okay, good.
But yeah, it'd be really cool to get to more countries, because it's one thing to play to places and go, you hear, oh, why don't you come to our state, or why don't you come in Canada to wherever, and you know that year that you're probably going to end up there. So it's a very, they just have to hold on for that little bit, and then they'll eventually be able to see you. But when it's on the other side of the world, it's a little bit more difficult.
Well, I just feel like sad, like when I hear it, because I'm like, I would love to do that. but I can't. So it's just like, I'm sorry.
Soon. Not now,
Like,
but soon.
like one day, I absolutely promise, eventually.
Your favorite thing to do outside of music?
Go to Disney World.
I had a feeling that was going to be your answer.
You already knew.
I have a company, so my favorite thing in the world is just working in production and doing my film stuff, which is why the music video was so fun, because I'm in the video, but it's also like my team running around and like getting everything together in the background.
Steve was filming it while he was in it. He was like setting up the camera and then running behind the drum kit.
I was curious if that was your team behind that. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was half my team and then half people that I've recently met in Florida that wanted to do some projects with us.
Yeah, like Christian, our tour photographer. We're like, you ever filmed a music video before? And he was like, no. And we're like, would you like to? And then we just brought him there. We told him he was shooting behind the scenes photos, and then he ended up filming like half the video.
Shout out to Christian. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
And the last question, the song you wrote that means the most to you.
Stronger. I needed the one token ballad on the album. I was like, no one asked for it, and I'm doing it anyways because it's not for you, it's for me. I'm like, even if people don't want a ballad, too bad, it's on there.
I think the song that means the most is probably Dysfunctional, and that's just because it was written, I think, to relate to everybody, regardless of, what the situation is in your life.
Yeah, it's relatable.
Yeah, very much.
I love whenever we introduce Dysfunctional Live to have a little spiel I go through where I'm like, all right, guys, this is the part of the show where we're going to get way too personal and talk about our family issues. And I'm like, raise your hand if you've got someone in your life that you're thinking of right now. And then we play Dysfunctional.
Oh,
it's just
that's
like
great.
a little crowd interactive moment because it kind of breaks the ice. If the people who haven't cheered yet or haven't, headbanged or anything yet because it's still early in the set and they're warming up, that gets them to come out of their shell.
That's great. Well, that was everything I had for you. Was there any closing message that you had to any Living Dead Girl fans watching?
Exorcism Deluxe Edition is available for pre-order now. It's coming out October 6th. And we will be on the road with Raven Black all of August and touring around Florida in October. So if we're coming near you, please come see us because we would love to see you.
Same.
What she said. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for the time. I had a blast talking with you. Hope to see you on the road at some point. And to everybody watching, thank you for watching. Until the next interview, stay tuned, stay scared, and I'll catch you later.